Okay, this is impromptu, no preparation, zero preparation for this. Um, a viewer asked me a question, so I'm answering your question. I can't find the book. According to my inventory, I own the book, but I can't find the book. So I'm a little annoyed. I did a giveaway a couple of years ago, and I gave away some children's books, Nancy Drew, Trixie Bells, and Bob's Twins. I'm okay with those. But now I'm discovering I gave away my L.A. Banks, my Alan Dean Fosters, my Jim Butchers, and so now in the process of trying to get those back. I'm trying to gather up Alan Dean Foster, Jim Butcher, and L.A. Banks, and a couple other authors that I gave away. And apparently, out of the 16 books I have of this particular author that the question was based on, the one book he was asking about is the one book that's missing. Figure my luck. But welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books. Don't forget Flashback Mondays, Star Trek Fridays, my new series, If Then. And these will probably be featured in one of those If Thens. I'm getting ready to do a couple of paranormal ones. But I wanted to see. All right, so book one, P.N. Elrod, Patricia. I always had a weak spot for strange ladies. One very beautiful girl had even warned me that she was, get this, a vampire. But did I listen? No. Well, before you know it, I'm being chased by an ugly thug with a gun, and a bullet blasts its way through my back, and believe it or not, nothing happened. I survived. How? You guessed it. I'm Jack Fleming, ace reporter, have been transformed into a vampire, which has its advantages. You never die, you never grow old, you sleep all day, and the best of all, you can hunt down your own murderer. Book one. Book two. The Vampire Files, Book 2, Lifeblood. As Neferanto, I basically a nice guy. Sure, I need a little blood now and then, but I never meant to harm anyone. Too bad some people don't feel the same way. I've got a bunch of crazy vampire hunters on my trail, armed with crosses, silver bullets, and sharp wooden stakes. How they did find out about me, why are they, pardon the expression, out for my blood? I don't know, but I'm going to get some answers even if it kills me again. Um, 3. Vampire Files Blood Circle. As a vampire, I have a number of handy skills. I can hypnotize mortals, walk through walls, and shrug off bullets like insults. The one thing I haven't been able to manage so far is to find the woman who made me what I am. Until now, maybe. Her trail has led me to the plottable estate of a wealthy widow and a 200-year-old gigolo with a taste for young blood. He claims not to know where my long-lost lady is or who is trying to kill me, but then again, you can never trust a vampire. I should know. Uh, Blood Circle, Book 3. Critic by night. I'm a vampire, not an artist, but I know what I like. I don't like murder. So when the career of a talented young artist is fatally cut short, I know I won't sleep easy in my coffin until I find the killer. But the world of high art, with its big money, bigger egos, and expensive forgeries, makes even blood-sucking seem simple and safer. Dead artists can live forever. An undead detective may not be so lucky. The Vampire Files, Book 4, Art in the Blood. Book 5, when a vampire's got to do what a vampire's got to do, even when the dead have to work for a living. This time a practiced heirloom bracelet's been stolen from the wealthy Sebastian Pierce, and guess who's been hired to find it? I'll give you a hint. Me. Pierce has plenty of hard cash, a soft heart, and a hot-blooded daughter named Marion. Marion has big eyes for your truly, a very jealous boyfriend. And me, I've got a night job I really can sink my teeth into. Vampire Files, Book 5, Fire in the Blood. Book 6, Manhunt at Midnight. There's a new crime boss in town and he's gunning for a vampire. So are the police. Lucky me. What's worse, my thirst for the red stuff is getting out of control. I'm not sure what scares me more, the mob or the darkness gnawing at my gut. When Chicago gets this hot, even a vampire gets burned. The Vampire Files, Book 6, Blood on the Water. And then the story shifts easily between comedy and mystery, and Elrod's treatment of the practical aspects of vampirism is clever and refreshing. When he was alive, Jack Fleming was a reporter with a nose for news. Now that he's dead, he's a private eye with thirst for justice and blood. But being a vampire with morals is no midnight stroll on the streets of post-prohibition Chicago. In the city of sin, the gangs still rule, and they're on the brink of an all-out war. Neither crook nor cops care about how much innocent blood or otherwise flows through the fight, but Jack does. Caught between the local hoods and the boys from New York, Jack has to stop the battle before it starts. But how much of his remaining humanity will he have to give up to do it? A chill in the blood. The Dark Sleeve. Vampire detective Jack Fleming stalking the mean streets of Prohibition Chicago is a walk in the park compared to the jealousy he's feeling about his girlfriend. A famous radio star has promised to get her some airplay, but Jack's convinced the star is more interested in her private performance. Before he can resolve this situation, Jack is hired to retrieve incriminating letters from the ex-lover of a young socialite. A simple job until bullets start flying and Jack's mortal partner gets caught in the crossfire. Someone's after Jack, but who? Jack is willing to risk life to find the truth. After all, he's already dead. Only this time, it's not his life he's risking. The Dark Sleeve. I don't know the order of these. So we'll just go through them. I don't know the order of these offhand. All right, let's see. This is, all right, Red Death is first. Give me liberty or give me undeath. A young upstart, Jonathan Barrett, is sent to London in 1773 for his college education. There he meets Nora Jones, an unearthly beauty whose love-making talents entrance him even as she drinks his blood during their nightly tryst. Forced by impending war to return to America, Jonathan stands ready to spill his blood for his country, but Nora's kiss has left him craving the blood of others for all time. The Maiden, Death and the Maiden. From the blood of the living comes the passion of the dead. Jonathan Barrett died in his early days of American Revolution, but he did not rest for long. He rose again with strange new abilities and irresistible thirst for blood. Now Jonathan must learn to control his new powers in the embattled splendor of Barrett Estate, in the company of his father, his sister, and his seductive young cousin. But there are soldiers without and intrigues within that threaten his sanctuary. To save his loved ones and fulfill his darkest desires, Jonathan Barrett must kill again. And the Mess Task. His first love, his only unlove, his undying love. When Jonathan died, Barrett was buried, but he was not his fate to stay in the freshly turned earth. The legacy of a new vampire bloodline pulled him from that early grave, and his strange destiny a miracle or curse. Only one unearthly soul knows. Nora Jones has disappeared. Jonathan's quest to find her draws him back into the strange fold of his family, where a malevolent plot against them is taking shape. But his enemies will soon discover that it's not easy to kill a Barrett, especially one that is already dead. Alright, the last one. A vampire will not forsake his flesh and blood. Jonathan Barrett has died again and again. risen each time to continuing his earthly existence as a young gentleman of quality in 18th century London. He's grown used to his powers and his hungers. After all he's been through, his life holds few surprises for him. But then he meets a most engaging 4-year-old boy, a boy with a face and his eyes, his son, the child of an almost forgotten night stallions. Jonathan tends to do right by the lad, but his enemies intend to use his affection for the boy against him. And the only one who can help him save mortal son is his long-lost immortal love. STRAHD, the war against Zan. For more than a century, STRAHD von Zurich has ruled Bavaria with an iron hand, feeding on the For more than a century, STRAHD von Zurich has ruled Bavaria with an iron hand, feeding on blood of his vassals and fearing no one. In all the years of his tortured rule, none have dared to defy him. But now the Vistani have returned to Bavaria, bringing with them a warning for the dread lord of Bavaria. One is coming to oppose STRAHD, an opponent who may not only bring the existence of vampires to an end, but may destroy all of Bavaria as well. And this is my last one. Some of the parchment pages were the color of cream, thick and substantial, made to last many, many lifetimes. Other pages were thin and desiccated, positively yellow from age, and crackled alarmingly as Van Rychten turned them over. There were no ornate illuminations, no fussy borders, only lines of plain text in hard black ink. The following handwriting was difficult to follow at first. The writer's style of calligraphy had not been in common use for 300 years. No table of contents, but from the dates it looked to be some kind of history. He turned to the first page and read, I, STRAHD, Lord of Bavaria, well aware certain events of my reign have been desperately misunderstood by those who are better at garbing history than recording it. Hereby set down an exact record of those events, that truth may at last be known. He caught his breath, by all the gods, a personal journal. And those are all my P and Elrod books. I do have 2 others listed on my inventory list, but they are not here, so obviously they got lost in the big giveaway, and I'm upset about it, and I will hit the thrift stores and stuff to see if I can find them, to find all the other books that I'm missing, especially my Alan Dean Fosters. I want to get into those too. But my girlfriend here saying this is over. I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry. I will continue to look for those other books. But I probably will mention these again in an If Then in a Vampire Detective one, along with Miss Tanya Huff back there. So please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. Don't forget Flashback Mondays, Star Trek Fridays, and If Then Fridays. Please, thank you very much.